point there as they were able to connect. The clock running here, under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. And they'll go on the ground, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Let's go, let's go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Here's Keenum to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. In for the score. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
1st and goal. Forget running the football. Forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting that.
And that totally goes against type, doesn't it? When you think 1st and goal from the 1, you're thinking running play.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. They begin the drive with Johnson. Got some room at the 30. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, 85 yards. And the Browns. Are able to strike quickly for 6. Now the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Here goes hot. Like 20. Hey, go, Roger.
Off the play fake, Keenum. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
53. Brown to that hot.
Working from the gun, Keenum. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
4 down. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Keenum. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
Right over there, right over there. Roger, Roger, Roger. Man, let's get some penetration. Hey, 52. They're hot. We're good. Bang, 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 bang. Hey, go, Roger.
On 1st and 10, Keenum. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Keenum now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now Keenum again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Roger, Roger, Roger. Hey, go, Roger.
2nd and 10, Keenum here again. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 17-14. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mayfield now, and his throw here's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Von Miller with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't Who's going to score the most points in this game? Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now it's the backup Hackenberg. Uncorks one for Davis. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here goes the high. Right 20.
From the gun, here's Keenum. Over the middle, complete. That's Sanders. Keenum to Sanders for the Denver first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. Give him 30 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Even. 4 down.
On first down, Keenum going with a screen for Murray. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Let's go, let's go. Keep playing hard, fellas. 3, hot. Hey,
Keenum now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Mike, 50. Roger. Right 20. Takes him.
Tighten up. Pull together.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Keenum. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And McManus able to put it through. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Mayfield on play action. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you, push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Colby Listenby, 44 yards. And the Browns can grab the lead if they hit the extra point. Extra point right down the middle, and that will put them on top here in the third. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Broncos are in for 6.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Keenum now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go play action. Mayfield. Underneath for Johnson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Over!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit! 26, Mike. Detroit!
From the gun, Mayfield fighting to stay upright. Eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. Derek Wolfe in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Hey, orange! Orange! All right. Go, doctor. Roger. 58, boys, 58.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Hey, orange! You got tape.
Now a 1st down throw, Keenum. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Josh Hawkins with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Brandon, these cornerbacks had their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get 2 hands on the football and pick it off.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Gun!
Following the interception, Mayfield completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Mayfield on 1st down. That's taken in by Callaway. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
All right, now, look at 56.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now Mayfield, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On is the punter King to send it away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there. Jam! Hey, orange! Orange! Watch twist!
In his own end zone, it's Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Hackenberg. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch him now, Barney! Gun! Check 37!
The second down throw for Mayfield. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Browns on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He gets it left side of Johnson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Mayfield now from the 50. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
47's the mic, boys, 47. Watch him now, Barney, Barney. I got it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch that. Check right 54. Right 54. All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
Working out of the gun. Mayfield. This is Johnson. He's got it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved a first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their 38. Now they try the right side here. Finding some room at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Murray. And an alley to run. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, you got 3 guys.
From the red zone now, Keenum. And that's complete to Sanders. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
22.
Working from the gun, Keenum. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Throwing, Mayfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go. Easy. All right, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Here goes hot.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Hey, boys, got 4 down.
Shotgun snap for Keenum. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right. No doctor, doctor.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And now with the time of the play clock almost up, Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
4 down.
And they take a knee. They had the extra week of rest. That was a factor. I think this home crowd was certainly a factor as well. So this is step 1 done. Now they need to win next week if they want to get to the Super Bowl.
I like those 2 factors that you brought up. The extra week, getting the open week by being the number 2 seed, a terrific home crowd for them, coupled with really good play. That allows them now to keep their Super Bowl dream alive. 1 more on their way to the Super Bowl.
So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we... EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Blue.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Lock in.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Tight end right. 4 down.
850. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Eddie Goldman able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here. A little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And this is going to be Packer football.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball, You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's fine, yeah. We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Yeah, Liz.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Hey, check 24.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop.
Yeah.
That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
No. Off. Hey, we are going.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And Crosby puts it through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Oh, little 360. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Red, up. 18. Lock in.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? That's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
4 down. Lock in.
On 1st down, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Trubisky to throw again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Touchdown, Chicago! Taylor Gabriel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This is taken at the 15. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary didn't really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Trubisky now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. They go play action. Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
18. Red, up.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Red, up. Red, up. 47 Mike, 47 Mike, Mike, 47. Red, up. Lock in. Let's see what you got. Lock in.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. His throw caught right around the 6. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Parkey with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Hey, Re 19! Re 19!
Rodgers now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Jamal Williams. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football. But he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes. And you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3, cut balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That's fine, yeah. Hey, check 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles. But also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They run. This is Cohen. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Lock in, lock in.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, 18. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Gotta go. Motion. Watch Swiss. Blue.
And with very little time left on the play clock, Pete Carroll's going to call timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Hey, check. Blue. Check by 47. Hey, gotta go. I'm coming.
Trubisky now down around his goal line. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant you to flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's got some space here. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
18. Gotta go. Lock in.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They go play action with Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Trubisky now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
Gotta go, gotta go. Red's up. Lock in.
Now it's Trubisky. Packer pressure, and down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen, and that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Zoom.
Now Rodgers to try again after the pick 6. He rifles one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And Parkey's kick is good. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now running right through him. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey, where y'all going? Hey, check 26. Gun.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Trubisky will throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cohen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Blue. Gotta go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go. Lock in. Red, up. Hey, alert. Mike's 50.
On second down, here's Trubisky. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Get him, boys. Yeah, that's how we do, D.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's got this down to the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
Blue. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Let's go.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Lock in.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Space to run past the 20. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. They'll run forward to Tariq Cohen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears add on. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
58's the mic. Zoom. That's fine, yeah.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season of
December,
giving.
right? It is the season of giving.
Lock in.
Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
Here's Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Lock in.
Back now at Soldier Field. From the 32 now. Here's first and 10.
Blue. Hey, 50. 18. All day, baby. Lock in. Check 13.
On first and 10, it's Trubisky. Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
3 down. Red's up. Red's up. 47's the mic. Lock in.
Throwing here, Trubisky. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's second and goal. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on. And he's got it up and through. The kickoff will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. The give is to Jones. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Oh, yeah! Zoom, zoom. Double tight. Double tight.
On play action. Now Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Hey, 26. Hoka, over here. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Run.
Now it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And the pressure gets to him again. Akeem Hicks in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. It's taken to the 26. Escapes the defender. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Rodgers. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They get 14 yards there at a 1st down. Rodgers now, he's hit on just 5 of 15 throws, a poor percentage, but it's 1st and 10.
We got 4.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Double tight. Hey. Jumbo! No. Hold. Watch safety.
On first down, Rodgers. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Rodgers now to throw. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Packers on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hey, 4 down. Hey, Lex.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. This is Cohen. Finding room at the 30. Fancy footwork in mid, and I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Parkey with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Packers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Maddn. This is the NFL on EA Sports.